I don't know what college I want to go to, but I know I want to be a teacher. I want to be a nurse. I want to be a doctor.
How come?
Because I would like to help somebody in need.
You wake up every morning and you know that kids are getting a really crappy education right now.
So you think that most of the kids here are getting a crappy education right now?
Oh, I don't think they are. I know they are.
Either the kids are getting stupider every year, or something is wrong in the education system.
I just try to do my best at school and make my grandmother proud.
Among 30 developed countries, we rank 25th in math and 21st in science. In almost every category, we've fallen behind, except one. Kids from the USA rank #1 in confidence.
I think about 60,000 people have gone to this school in 40 years. 40,000 didn't graduate. This is the damage that this school has done to this neighborhood.
A child that doesn't finish high school will earn less and be 8 times more likely to go to prison.
I want to go to school.
For these kids, their only chance at getting into a great school depends on whether their number is picked in a lottery.
So if Francisca doesn't get in, is there another chance?
No.
Your children and future generations are on the bridge of the Titanic and everybody's going to drown.
Someone has taken an interest in you, someone loves you, and they recognize the importance of education. And the first student selected,
20. 9.
It takes a lot of outrage and a lot of good examples to say, yes, we can do this.
When you see a great teacher, you are seeing a work of art.
I want my kids to have better than what I had.
18. 10. 12. 2.
and the last number,
Hi, and welcome to Have You Seen It? And we are sitting here today with the Academy Award-winning director for Inconvenient Truth, who just directed Waiting for Superman, and is coming out soon to theaters near you. So keep an eye out, because it's a great movie, great documentary about our public school system today. So after watching this film, I have to ask, obviously a great teacher inspired you at some point. Right. What was your really inspiring teacher growing up?
I had a teacher named Harvey Lejour in 10th grade, and I was the bottom of my class. I'm not exaggerating. I was the bottom. And I just wasn't hooked in. I wasn't excited. I wasn't motivated. And he just still found a way to say, you know what, you matter. You know, you have something to say. You know, and that really, you know, made me feel like, oh, wow, I should work harder. And he really changed my life.
And what kind of class was that in for you?
That was American history, 10th grade, and he was a great teacher, and he changed my life. And my father was a documentary filmmaker, and he taught me a lot about documentary films. So
that's how you got into the documentary arena, I presume?
Yeah. I sort of moved away from home, wanted to make my mark in Hollywood, but I got sucked back into documentaries.
I also noticed in your credits you have a lot of TV experience for directing.
Yeah.
And do you want to go into directing movies that are scripted or TV down the line, or just
I like going back and forth, and it helps because I make documentaries that aren't just these sort of dry, ponderous movies. I really like to give an audience an experience. When people see Waiting for Superman, it's an exciting, challenging, sometimes funny, sometimes outrageous, and very suspenseful experience. And people go come out of the movie going, wow, that was intense, and maybe they cried. But they also come out inspired, and they feel better because they start to realize what's going on, and they want to help get involved. So and when that happened with Inconvenient Truth, we really sort of galvanized a group of people around a movie, and that was exciting.
I found it actually a very fascinating film, personally.
Thank you.
I love how you intermingled some of the old footage of TV shows and movies and all sorts of things, and even did a lot of animated pieces
Yeah,
and really brought it all together. So it was an interesting piece to watch, even if you're not a documentary lover.
Yeah, I think it's a movie. Like I don't like to make, don't like to think I make documentaries. I think I like to make movies and give the audience an experience. And that's why I think my documentaries are a little bit different. But you really just, you see this movie and you fall in love with Daisy or Anthony or Bianca, these kids, and they just want a great school. And you realize that they end up in a lottery.
Now, how did you find these kids? Since they all did end up going into the lottery system, did you know ahead of time that they were going to pursue that path, or did it all just happen?
We found schools that were that had lotteries, and we went to their first early sort of information sessions, and we asked families whether they'd want to participate in the movie. What's remarkable is, like, if there's a great school in your neighborhood, like in East LA or in Harlem, or even in a middle-class neighborhood up in Northern California, you find out that, like, yeah, I want to go. And they go, well, there are too many applicants, so we're going to have a lottery. We're going to put your name in a basket, and we're going to turn the basket. And if you're lucky, you get a good education. Now, I don't like to play the lottery. I don't like the odds. But these families, they have to play bingo to give their kid a great education. And that's outrageous and un-American. And I think when people see this movie, they'll feel the same way.
Now, do you yourself, did you go to public or private or?
So in 1968, I remember going to the first day of school, and I remember asking my mom, why am I taking a school bus? I was in Washington, D.C., to Virginia, across the Potomac River, 45 minutes. Why am I going there to go to school? And my mom said, the schools of Washington, D.C. are broken. And they're not good enough. Now, more than 40 years later, they're still broken.
Wow.
And that's sort of what this film's about. It's like there's a system that's been broken for so long. But now we have the answers. Now there's a new generation of reformers all around the country here saying enough is enough, and they're fixing these schools. So the movie is very inspirational, saying, look, it is possible. All we need are moms and dads fighting for great schools. And that's why people should go see this movie.
Wow, yeah, I found it a great movie myself, personally. Have you ever thought about the homeschool system as well that might be?
The homeschool is a valid choice. It's very personal. You know, first of all, it's a big commitment from the parents, and I think a lot of it's a response to the fact that the schools aren't working. If the schools started working and they were great, you'd see homeschooling go down. But parents will do anything to give their kid a great education. You know, they'll drive 45 minutes, so they'll pay $30,000 if they can, because every parent wants to give their kid a great education.
Was it hard for you to get the rights to these old footage of the TV shows and the movies that you did use?
Yeah, it's very hard, and you have to find the rights to each thing, and it's a lot of work.
Did that take a lot of time compared to a lot of the other things that you had?
Like 2.5 years.
Wow.
2.5 years to make the movie. But all this footage they're all different sources, and they're different lawyers, and it's expensive, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work making documentaries.
So you've been planning this for a few years then?
Yeah, it's been a lot of work. But I go to bed every night worrying. Like, I want Daisy, this little girl in East LA, or Anthony in Washington, or Bianca in Harlem. I want them, or Emily here in Northern California. I want them to get a great education. And why do we as a country not provide every kid a great education? It just baffles us.
Do you think you'll ever do a follow-up documentary to what happened?
You know, maybe. I really want to know what happens to these kids. You know, my life depends on their success.
Well, that concludes our interview here with Davis Guggenheim. I hope you all go out to see Waiting for Superman when it comes out very soon at a theater near you, and I hope that you enjoyed this interview and it made you think as much as it made me.
Thanks a lot.
That's a wrap. Thank you.